Caution is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Root. We will talk about the expansion because we have played it with one of the factions from the expansion, just you guys didn't get to see it. So, this game is fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's very fun. It is great.
So, which is crazy because you were with me at Gen Con. David was telling me about this game. He's like, dude, you have to get it. He was saying it's like his favorite game of the year. I've played their other game, Vast. This game makes me want to go back and play Vast because I hated it. And I'm thinking we must have just played it wrong. Because if this game is just as solid with the same mechanics of asymmetrical gameplay, this one's a little bit different though, because in Vast, like, I target you, you target him, he targets her, and that's kind of how it goes. Like,
right.
We will never interact with each, like, but in this one, everyone's asymmetrical, but we all, affect each other.
Right.
So I think that's why it might be a little bit better. But he convinced me to get this, and he's like, dude, I'm telling you, like, come back tomorrow, and because the expansions had sold out, he's like, grab the expansion, you will not regret it. And I'm like, all right, man, I was very hesitant on it. And even though we played it the first time,
we played it incorrectly.
We played it completely incorrect, and I had to watch a 2-hour-long video on how to play and the thing, and look up rules for clarifications. I still had a lot of fun that first time. Even though I was kind of like, ugh, it seems like the Vagabond's broken, and the Eerie suck. But the Woodland Alliance and Marquise. So, Cat won. By a point! Yeah, that's always more bitter, losing by like a point.
It sure is.
Because if I was like down here, I'd be like, I don't even care. But like I was like, I can't get any more points. Which is not often, and what's really great I think about this game is that it wasn't like obvious that she was gonna win. Like, it wasn't like, oh, okay, obviously whatever she's going to do. The entire game feels like the cats are the dominant, which thematically they are, but they feel like, oh, they're broken.
Just because they start everywhere.
Yeah. Which, in my opinion, and I've only played the cats, we've only played the factions we've played tonight, that there's another game called Cry Havoc, with 4 players, 1 faction is like the indigenous species of the planet, and they have a way to spread real quick. But in a multiplayer game, in a 4-player game in Cry Havoc, they become public enemy number 1 because they're in the way. So the entire game, in the run-through for that one, I was like, I feel like I'm targeted the entire game, because hardly anyone attacked each other, except they always attacked me, and they were like, well, you did that yourself. You got in everyone's way. So that's kind of what the cats feel like, to me, is because I start everywhere, they have a board presence which make them seem super threatening, but in all reality, it's really easy to get rid of them. Like halfway through the game, I had this. I had my corner. And then, by the end of it, I had this. It was very easy for you to kind of pick me off. Because I don't really have a whole lot, because I start with only 1. He starts with 6 people.
But I start in 1.
In 1 spot, correct. She starts with no one.
Hello.
And then you start, just the middle, and it's just you. So with the cats, it's like, okay, well, we got to take care of them, but I can't really bounce back if I'm being, targeted. Like, you got rid of all my recruits, and I was like,
in like a move.
Yep, in 1 move, I was like, well, I can't do that. My only thing that I had was, I could attack. Well, that wasn't there. How I was going to try and win was I was just going to move there and actually just build something real quick, because I would have had the wood to do it. So, the question is, do you think the game is balanced?
No.
You don't think the game's balanced?
Not at the start, no.
Well, I meant like faction-wise.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, not like, yeah. Do you think the factions are balanced, or do you feel like, okay,
maybe
it seems like they're always going to win?
That's a little overpowered.
See, it's funny because, well, so keep going.
It just seems overpowered just because, like, I can place the sympathy here as long as I have it, and you literally have no troops there, and then in seconds, everything's gone.
Yeah.
And then it's open.
And it's if I have to have the cards, but if I place down enough sympathy and you guys are walking through it, I will always have the cards.
Yeah, you will always
Yep.
get a card either from
Yep.
one of us for a matching, or you will draw
You
a
will
card.
draw. How she ramped so quick was because you moved through her so many times.
And then you moved through me
And
to
then-
try to kill me,
Yeah.
and you guys gave me a lot of foxes, and I think that was actually pretty funny at the end. As
Yeah,
well.
I do have a few complaints, but I'll bring them up later. So with the Woodland Alliance, wasn't there something about placing sympathy equal to someone's like buildings there?
No
Was that-
buildings.
I thought there was a way that you couldn't just pop a sympathy there; that you had to pay extra cards. Or was that
I-
was
when
that
you
the
were-
River Folk?
I don't think so.
I remember that last game too.
Yeah.
Because remember, I kept asking you, can I put that there?
Yeah,
That's why
and
I was
you had to
asking.
come to the sworn. Like someone had to spend extra.
Maybe it was there.
Sheridan had to pay extra to build something there,
Mhm.
and then if somebody else dominated it, they had to pay her, I believe.
There was something that I was like, okay, well, it seems like popping sympathy tokens is pretty quick. But the good thing is she can't pop sympathy then revolt. Like she's gonna get a bunch of points.
I have to
But
either revolt and
there
then,
was-
yeah.
In hindsight, there was a way to stop her, and no one did it. You destroy her bases.
Mm.
Because she had 3 bases at one point, so that means she's drawn 4 cards every turn.
Oh, at one
Yeah,
point.
I did not realize
Yeah,
that.
because her bases open up
Yep.
extra card draw, so
Because
she had.
it's in my evening phase, it's draw 1 card plus 1 card per.
So
whatever
she's
the-
drawn
Oh,
4
yeah.
cards,
Key
and
to the
then
game is get cards.
yeah,
Shit.
absolutely. So with her, it was like, okay, well, no one really attacked her there. No one even came close to down here.
Right.
So I will say
It's
every
because everybody was trying to
faction,
go to the cat.
every
I'm gonna
faction.
beat him next game. He starts the coin stack.
Oh, gotcha. Every faction is I do believe every faction is balanced. In their own way, and there are ways to stop them. Like I said, Woodland Alliance, destroy their bases because then you don't have any evening. You're not getting extra cards, and your sympathy tokens are pretty easy to get rid of.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
And then if you want to bring them out, if you have no officers or you have no people there, then you're not popping a free sympathy.
Yeah.
Public execution.
Pretty much. With Marquise Decat,
Marquis.
sorry, Macron.
Ma-
Marquise Decat. It's literally just board swarm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you guys start attacking, is like I feel like the cats are early game, and I've only ever seen that everyone complains that they're broken, and I'm like, obviously not, because I didn't win.
Well, I mean, because we just we blew up your buildings,
Yep.
and then yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, so your recruiters get you more people.
My recruiters give me when I do the recruit, I place a person at each spot that has a recruit token.
Right.
So if I have all these out, I can get 6 people.
Right. And then what's the forge do?
The workshops, that's how I build my stuff. I have to have workshops and spots.
So every workshop you have in a
clearing.
depending on
So
the
like
clearing,
if I have
so then you can just produce like crazy.
well, no, I can only craft. Can you only craft one? Yeah, because you can only use 1 workshop per spot. So if I have a workshop there and there, I can only make 1 bunny card because I have 1 there and there. So those are used up. Now if I had 1 here and up there, then I could technically craft 2 bunny cards, or technically 4 if they're all level 1.
Right. And then
And then my sawmills give me my wood.
more wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I put a wood on every place that has a sawmill. And how I build my buildings is I have to have a chain of ownership. So I could have built here because I own this, and that. So my wood basically trails like that. So yeah, destroy buildings, and it's like, I can build them back, hopefully easily, because now they're typically cheaper. Like my recruiters are free because you got rid of all of them. No one can touch you.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Like you're there, and like all you have to do is you can either ally, and then now you start using us, or you just attack us, and then you focus them and get a point because you start and you can also destroy buildings, get points for that, and you get points for
Killing dudes, but then that makes movement quite a bit more difficult. And if you don't get lucky, you get that second boot.
Yep. I mean, but that's why the crossbows help.
Right. Crossbows are neat. And then it still lets me slip. I can still do my slip move.
Yep.
Like that's always a guaranteed. But then further movement, cost the 2 boots.
So, because that's where I thought you were broken. It's like, man, if you can just run up and be in our spot, but you have unexhausted stuff, we can't damage you. And then you.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: you can always damage my inner.
Yeah.
And that is crippling.
Yeah.
Like that would have like fucked me up. I would I just have to throw these items away.
Right. So like I said, everyone has their ways. I want to say you have the weakest, like you have the biggest weak spot.
And
to,
it's the decree.
Yeah, to exploit, but you also have, I think, the biggest ramp.
I do, because the more more cards I have in the recruit column, I can recruit more.
Yep.
And then if I have the charismatic leader, I get to do 2 at once.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then if you have a bunch of cards in move, you spread out really quick with all your people. Since you break ties on ownership, you flood, and then you can battle everywhere, and then you can just, oh look, there's some roosts, and yep, I'm consistently getting, 4 or 5 points every turn. Because I remember you were at 12, and I was like, you'd be at 21 in 1 turn if you had kept with points. Even then, you went with the dominance, which there was really one way that I couldn't stop you. And he was allied with you, so he wasn't gonna do anything. Kat was the only one that could potentially stop you if she wasn't gonna win that turn. And so it's like we can look at your decree and be like, okay, he has to build there. If I can hold that, then you will go into turmoil and you'll wipe a lot of points. So this game is so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's phenomenal.
Easily a 9.
Yeah. Like, so is there anything you guys don't like about the game?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
There is one, and it's kind of my same complaint I made with Magic, is since there is only one deck of cards, it's luck driven in that way. Like,
because we're all sharing.
Because we're all sharing, so it's like you could easily be getting all the bird cards, which make your decree fucking OP.
Amazing.
It could be exploited still, because then you're gonna lose a shit ton of points.
Oh
if you keep using birds. But that's how the guy won. He kept getting the bird cards. So he always had variety. Like it's like, oh okay.
But
you guys took over the mouse spot, but I'll just use these wilds to do
everything.
Do that somewhere else. I never got a single ambush.
I got 1.
You got 1?
And I used it.
I started with 1.
Did you?
And then I think I got a couple more.
And with you, yeah, it's just luck on your card draws. That could be, oh hey, because I don't think there was ever a time where you couldn't revolt.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like,
wilds going on.
So you could get lucky with your supports. I got lucky with the builds. That's how I ramped up so quick.
Luck did play a pretty big part, because when you took my base, I have to discard whatever that base was. Like I lose my supporters. And I lost my foxes, but they only come from my supporters. I didn't have any.
Oh really?
So I didn't have any to start with.
Oh well, including birds.
I didn't have any of those.
Oh,
It was like mice and bunnies.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now, because like the first time we played, I had all the tea kettles. I'm
Yeah.
realizing now how pretty critical they are to my like wholesome turn.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now I only get 3 items.
Yeah.
3 things to do.
Yeah. So it's like the Vagabond definitely relies heavily on alliances. It's like, hey, I won't fuck with you if you build this for me.
I mean, that seems kind of like a balancing measure, like, because, I mean, since the cats are so prevalent early on, it's like he almost has to assist them.
Mm.
And that kind of keeps you in the game and keeps you running while they're just, like, encroaching and crushing you.
Right.
Eventually evening things out and allowing you to continue to...
And then you're like, well, you're losing.
Hey, guys!
You just, like, slit their throat, and then you're just like, hey, guys! Hey, I was just
hey...
leading him on. I wasn't really allied with them.
That's exactly
They're dead to me. Here's stuff.
Trash panda extraordinaire.
Right? So, the cards are the critical key to the game. You can't do anything, really, if you don't have cards. I will say, because there's a lot of cards in here, like, I only did the ones that build, but there are some in here, like, Scouting Party, an attacker, as attacker and battle, you're not affected by ambush cards. Cobbler, at start of evening, you may take a move. So there's a bunch of these static abilities that no one did. Granted, I didn't really have a whole lot, and the ones I did have, at that point, you guys destroyed all my workshops, so I was like, well, not doing those. Shit. I mean, granted, my field hospitals allow me, at least I can save some people, because I thought she was going to attack this.
I was going to.
You were going to, then I'm like, hey!
And then
my wounded are here!
No, and then I realized that there's just an easier way. I wanted to make
There was an easier way I could just, easily get 7 points.
Well, because to make it free, because it is martial law, actually, I did find what you were talking about as it was clearing things off. martial law is you must spend just one more matching supporter if there's more than 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, so to avoid that and make it free, and I could have done it either way because I just showed you how many birds I had in my hand.
Mhm.
I just wanted to move to just make it free. Because you just remove one and you can,
Oh, wait a
because remember I
minute.
asked you?
We did fuck up
How?
because you can't move. You couldn't have moved from here into there because you didn't own this spot and you don't own that
Oh.
spot.
Oh, I forgot about moving. So I
Wait.
couldn't have moved it all.
Yeah. So
I don't
to
want
move,
to fucking film this all.
we're not gonna film it all over again. We just
So what?
So to move, you have to move from a space that you own
Or either
Or-
to one that you do own.
or to you do own.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
she-
did move from there, so that one was legal. It's
No, you
moving
had
from,
2 people here and you moved there and there. It
Oh.
doesn't matter.
Well, I could have moved from there, so we can just say I did that. So one of them was a legal move. If I
so
had pulled it
What
from
was
there.
everybody following that rule?
no, she didn't. How she won because she had 2 people here and she moved from here into here and from here into here.
Yeah.
And she doesn't own this, she doesn't own that, and she doesn't own that.
Yeah.
So she couldn't have moved to remove them to
So
places.
you can't move from a place that you don't own to another place that you don't own.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as long as you own a place, then you can move to another place
Yep.
that you don't.
Yeah,
own.
like since I own this, I don't own that. I can still move from here into there.
Gotcha.
Well,
Then you've got to
My move action depends on what card is there.
So essentially,
That's
you
true,
just,
but
you
you
just
still-
can't run past enemy lines.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
To
So,
attack their middle juicy section.
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna film this all over again. I'll
Just put
I'll just put a
Yeah.
caveat that. So you would have been able to do one.
One for sure, but I don't think
You
any
could have.
other one.
You had 4 officers.
Yeah.
You could have done one here, which would have gotten you 3 points, and you were at 23, so you would have gotten to 26.
Yeah.
And then, I think you could have still done it, because you had 4 officers, right?
4.
So yeah, you would have just moved here and removed
Oh,
that,
I would have just moved
and then
further.
you would have been for 2, then 3,
Yeah.
and then you would have moved that. So
That's true.
you still would have
Okay.
won.
Okay, but you were right though. You were right though.
So you did have to play
Yeah.
more cards.
Just
Okay.
one more, but yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we still
Which
figured out
again,
that you.
again, I would have won either way because I would have just done it there and played my extra card. I just chose not to do it.
Oh, you're right.
I would have attacked you.
No, because you can't
I
play
would have
tokens.
attacked you. I've skipped my bird song. I could have done it.
You would have just attacked me, or
Yeah,
you would have done a
I would
revolt.
have. I
You
would have.
can't place a token in there.
Oh
'cause
fuck!
of
So
my
wait,
keep.
so how? So is your keep like impenetrable?
Essentially, it's
For
only
me, anyway.
it's only impenetrable. Like if you had brought in more people, you could have attacked it. And
Like
then
if I would have sworn
if you would have
it.
swarmed
Yeah,
here and you
I
would
was
have
like,
removed
oh,
it.
fuck.
Yeah, but you cannot place tokens in there. Like he couldn't place a roost in here if my keep was here. You couldn't place sympathy. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Like the
Can you? Sorry to interrupt, but can I destroy the keep?
yes, it is
Okay.
a token. So if you had swarmed in here and you killed all these people,
Okay.
then if you were able to deal enough damage, you could have destroyed it. And then I don't have a keep anymore. That's a lot of work, and I had 4 people there.
Yeah.
But
It gets rid of your.
you still, luckily, you still would have won. You would have just had to, because you still
You
were
just
able to
would- yeah.
train enough. I think. Oh yeah, because it's from your bases.
Yeah.
Yep. So then you put them in. You just would have moved up there
Yeah.
and then placed it up. There.
Okay. Well, then I don't feel as bad now.
Because otherwise, I was like, oh, then I won.
Tentatively.
Yeah, so I mean it's stuff like that. So the cards are extremely lucky. If they happen to go in your favor, then like it's only good. But yeah, card draws are key, which is why because you have a bunch of items that benefit you, you don't get as much card advantage.
Right. And I'm like, how much incentive do you guys have to actually create items?
Right.
You know,
I mean, we get a bunch of points for doing them.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Except for you.
But I have a leader that ignores the
And even then, like.
said stipulation.
You like
Mm-hmm.
if we don't have items, then you just start finishing quests, drawing cards, and then you just ally with us, and it's against our will.
Yeah, this guy seems like a lot cooler for that.
So that's kind of like a small negative for me because it didn't really impact anything a whole lot. It seems to swing in everyone's favor just because they're so versatile. But ambushes are nice because it's like there were a couple times where it's like, oh haha, like where I got attacked where I could have just killed 2 people, and then it makes it a lot more fair. Any negatives from you guys? There was something that you said during gameplay that you said you didn't like, but I don't remember.
He took it back.
What
Well,
it
was it the sword thing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we figured that
We
out.
did
That
figure
as
it
long
out.
as it wasn't damaged, it was undamaged,
Yeah.
not exhausted.
Not exhausted. So yeah,
So just-
I mean, because that would have been stupid.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna use a sword to be weak. What?
It's like, yeah, I started the battle with 0 strength. No.
Draws a sword. This thing is dull as shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it sounded like. I will say that this game does require quite a few playthroughs to figure out your faction and strategize
Obviously.
with them. Do you guys think there's replayability?
Oh yeah.
If you play as a different faction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you play as your own
Then
faction,
you
like
know it better.
yeah, you only.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, there is replayability purely on the basis that the deck.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, there is a finite amount of possibilities, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you will
It's-
play your faction roughly the same, but it like because the only versatile between the factions are your two, because you can change who you are and you can change your leader, so that'll kind of change how you guys play. You and I pretty much stay the same, regardless of gameplay.
Yeah.
But even then, like I still had just as much fun playing it a second time.
I kind of, if we ever play this again, I kind of want to play one of these two.
One of these two. I want to see what it's like with two vagabonds
That would be interesting.
in the game.
Chaos.
So what's your guys' favorite thing
I
about
don't
this game?
know.
The artwork is fantastic.
right. I just love that it has. Okay, we're cute woodland creatures.
Mhm.
Like this
But-
this artwork, it's like
right.
hey,
It's super cutesy.
Hey,
it's
I'm
great.
just a
But
vagabond.
the themes are so mature. I love it so much that you're
Fucking-
this like overwhelming empire, and we've got essentially mouse terrorists coming to reclaim the woods. They're like they're killing cat people as they come in.
Right.
Like workers coming to kill the cat soldiers.
Yeah, so we're just
I'm envisioning all this this empire of birds
Like the-
suddenly appear from the sky and.
yeah. It's like the Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. You just dive bomb. While we're building workshops and machineries, destroying the land, and then
Right.
they just guerrilla warfare and run smoke bomb,
Right.
just like impale.
Exactly. Yeah.
Comes out of a bush, stabs you with like a makeshift shiv.
Right, it's just like, Mother, when are we going back to... Yeah! Who are these people?
Grabs the cat by the head and just.
I love the politics of this, because it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, guys, you're annoying! Like, leave me alone! And then it's like, guys, like, help me out. Like, I'm not the problem. Look, the rebels are obviously evil. Which is thematic, because, I mean, you are. Yeah, the theme is
No, we're just violent.
fantastic. The artwork is amazing.
I will say the one complaint I do have, and I kind of made it up at the beginning. I wish I did have a background. Like, what am I fighting for? Like what,
Freedom.
You're-
To
woods?
keep the
Who
woods.
gives a shit?
Well, there actually is a background, I thought. Oh no, it just tells you, and this is amazing. So the quality of the game is awesome. I love the fact that on your boards it tells you everything about.
Yeah.
Okay, card wealth is moderate, crafting ability is moderate, aggression is moderate, and complexity is low. Then it tells you this is how you should play them. This is kind of like their whole central theme, which is really good.
Which mine is actually, it suggested revolt and stack bases and defend bases.
Yeah, because if we destroy your bases, it
Yeah.
cripples you heavily.
Yeah, I got lucky
Um,
with everybody going for you.
Going after me, I know.
I was like,
I
woo!
know. Tell me about it. All it took was for one turn for you to just destroy her base, and she wouldn't have been able to win.
Yeah.
Granted, I would have won,
I guess
but
at the beginning it says it loosely, is I work to gain the alliance and sympathy of the oppressed forest creatures, so I guess we're just feeling a little oppressed.
It's
I mean, you've got
Civil War.
bird douche and cat fuckers as leaders right here.
I
Right.
will say that, like, I guess I'm a mouse. I guess I'm a mouse.
Well, like, both of our animals eat your kind, so
oh my god, that's true.
Fuck both from now on. Yeah, raccoons probably do too, but who knows?
And
Hello.
then the vagabond is like the odd duck of all the factions. You're
Yeah.
just
I
trash
just go
cans.
wherever.
yeah.
I like shiny shit.
What about you guys? What's your favorite thing about the game?
we already touched on it. I really like that it's cutesy and then
Yeah.
super mature and violent.
It's like on the nose. They're like, okay, let's take this race of real people, this country, they're birds. It's like obviously they're like supposed to be like Germany or something like that, but it's like no, they're cats.
I think I'm Asian.
You think you're Asian?
No, I feel like Germany really is because after World War One,
Mm.
they were all fucked up and super indebted. So then they just started coalescing strength, and then just like, hey,
Well,
You
like
think them, they're
Yeah.
German.
I mean, I'm not saying that you burn Jews, but
But
And then my
essentially the
Jews.
country dynamic of its expansion rapidly.
So, who are the cats?
I think
they're the French.
they seem to be
Because
the French.
marquee is a French word.
I
Right.
get, and I stand behind that, but why?
Oh, I don't know. And this is just all speculation. They could-
They could have had
Yeah.
their ideas.
I want a thesis.
Just simply an established empire, an old empire that was weakened in its growing
Oh,
strength,
in this
and then
game, honestly, they're England because they were super spread out and everywhere, and then guess who got wiped down to their little area?
That's true.
Solid,
That's true.
solid.
Um,
I know exactly who the alliance is.
who?
I'm not saying that.
Why?
This is controversial.
Okay.
If they're, I mean,
why
like,
bring it up?
because I'm just saying.
Okay.
In my opinion.
The Middle East.
Yeah.
Just a broad term. You can't hurt anybody's feelings.
No. I mean, like, they're very, very similar to the Black Panther movement of, like, spreading out, and they're not super, like,
Or really just.
and also,
Or
I
Vietnam.
mean, like, the fist really, like,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that, like, they were a movement, they really
You
did.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
I really don't think they had a country.
No,
No.
we're reading way too much
Yeah.
into this.
I think just rebels. There's always people oppressed during a conflict, and,
Yeah.
and then a rebellion appears, and
Yeah.
then you've got your established empire, old empire,
Yeah.
and then fuckers hoping to make
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
off of the
Yeah.
off
The
the
profit.
It's
conflict.
definitely, this game is absolutely unique. I can see why it's beloved. What do you guys think of the dominance cards?
I think that's interesting because Josh, I'm almost at it.
I do like that. So you that way if you are behind,
I'm
you have
so-
hope.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I did get 9 points, and it would have put me at 21. But you guys are so close.
At that point, correct.
I was 8
Um,
points behind you, and I was only 2 points behind you,
Mhm.
but
I
But
think
you could have played differently. Like, if you could have got 9 points and wiped out her base, you didn't have to attack me. At that point, yeah, I just needed one more point to win.
of course.
yeah.
If you were a little lower on the board,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have played differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's smart to use the dominance cards because it really just does come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I really like them.
And you have to work for them, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that easy. Like, oh, I can get 3 of these. Oh, shit,
Yep.
they're really spread out.
Yeah, or yeah, I like the fact that it's not an insta-win. You just happen to draw and like, oh, look at that,
Right.
I win. I like the fact that you have to have at least 10 points. And if we're up at 20s or something, you're like, I'm not gonna get a lot of points through that, but I can do this,
Yeah.
and you play it. Then it's like, oh crap, I don't care about points anymore. If I can get to 30 and instantly win, but it's like, we need to stop him. Because he can potentially, he's doing that right now.
Because I clearly have the largest army
Mhm.
on the board, but
Yep.
like she could have popped this to get rid of that, and so now I have to retake this
Mhm.
or that down there.
Yeah.
So-
So like this, that dominance reminds me of Inish.
Yeah.
So it's like there's an Inish. You have three out of 4 objectives you have to meet, and the only thing you can do on your turn if you're meeting 3 of them is grab a token that says I'm winning. I will win on my next turn. Which then everyone will be like, oh shit, we need to stop him. And then if you're not meeting those 3, then you just put the token back and the game continues. So there's a strategy on when to do that. Like if you had that in your hand the whole time, and you held the 3 foxes, and then you're like, I'm gonna play this now. It's like, well, shit. He has 6 people there, 6 people there, 6 people there. We can't really stop him. There's strategy behind it, and I do very much like it because there's nothing worse in a game that has points throughout the whole thing and no secret ending points. To where if you're back here and someone's all the way up here, it's almost like, what's the fucking point? I love also the fact that if it's not like a luck chance that you happen to draw. If someone discards it, they go over there. It's not like you have to wait for them to recycle through the deck. It's like, oh,
You're
great.
like, hell
Anyone
yeah!
can do those. And I'm really glad they thought about the Vagabond, how it's just like, okay, I'll ally with you.
Yeah,
so
it's like, well, it's not working out for me, guys.
Buddies till the end.
Yep,
But you
Yeah.
have to do the weakest one, though, so.
yeah, so it's not like you can't like pick.
Like,
if I was at
you're a
29,
point away.
yeah.
Let's be buddies.
yeah, so it is fair that way because
Sorry, I killed all your bros.
right, and then now you ally with them, so you don't win by yourself, but you win together. I do like that.
Yeah.
So that's the base game. The expansion, I think, is a must.
For you.
I'll just
No. Like I'm just talking about
Go
variety
home
on factions.
just be like, Sheridan, you fucked everything up.
You ruined Seth's victory. I still did really well.
Yeah.
Seth wanted to just keep paying your faction, and he would have won.
I mean, that's the thing, though, is the Beavers, I've had so many people be like, do not trust them. Because all they do is, like, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, I can use those cards. I can use your people. Then they're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Now I win.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to spend all your
You
people
can't rely on
to
them. Yeah.
swarm the board and like, just demolish you. So the expansion adds the Riverfolk, which are merchants. They only help, really,
Us two.
You can use her, but she's limited on people. The cats will really benefit from them, but they set the prices. It's like, oh, I can see you're about to be attacked. I'll put all my people there, but you're gonna have to give me 4 of your people to help me. So they can definitely set the price for a lot for their cards, for their stuff. So they're gonna have some massive turn. They have the river ability.
To make riverboats, and then you can use the river to get across the board.
Which opens that up because there were so many times I was like, oh, because having to go from there all the way around, it's like, it's not worth it. Can I do anything else? But the river, it's like, boom, I'm there. You can use their markets, their what was it, trade stands or something like that. Trading posts, which are only good, and then
to buy cards from them, and then there was one where you can pay to have her people be mercenaries for you.
Yeah, which is why you played your thing because, and
I
I only
it's
used it
easy.
once. There were a lot of times though I could have used you.
You could have, yeah.
So if you had kept going that route, and you just stuck with me. It's like, hey, I'll
Then you would have like just crushed, and I'm like, oh, so you just get cards and you dominate.
Well, it only would have, yeah. I wouldn't have gotten cards. You would have actually, only you would have benefited because I just would have defended.
Yeah, but that's just like 1 point at a time, though.
Yeah.
That's just 1 point. And when I have 3 swords, and like every time once I declare war, every token I kill then is a point.
Yeah.
Isn't the only other faction we haven't played as is the lizard?
The lizard folk. Yeah. So I don't really know a whole lot on what they do because we haven't played them, but they were like radicals. They were like a religious cult that had like.
Praise the crocodile god.
So they were all about. Oh crap! Let's see. Yeah, they were all about like outposts and like just creating more and more like leaders.
Well, they're natural.
They're zealots.
They're zealots, yeah.
Believe in Jesus.
Works towards a cause far greater than the petty squabbles of these woods. They score points by building holy gardens and then completing rituals to their dragon god. As they build more gardens of the same suit, their rituals in that suit will score them more points. Though they seem gentle at first, the cult will gradually radicalize its followers into acolytes who can enact conspiracies against clearings of the outcast, the suit discarded most throughout the last round. Cult's gardens spread the news of their lord, drawing throngs of pilgrims, so they rule a clearing with just a single garden. In their sermons, the cults stoke a fiery hatred of birds, so their bird cards are not wilds. Though they may wish to put down the cult with bow and blade, their acolytes always get revenge on the wicked. Whenever a cult warrior is removed while defending, the cult gains another acolyte.
So they hate me specifically. Well,
They hate not you, but the wilds, like they're birds that everyone utilizes. They seem so much fun, and that's the thing, is like the more people you have, you can still mix and match. And
yeah, I feel like this would be insane with 7 people.
Right? I think it plays up to 7.
Because 2 vagabonds, and then the beaver and the lizard folk, and then 4.
There'd be so much going on.
Yeah, like,
Which isn't a
because
bad
who did
thing.
Sheridan want to see? She wanted to see what the cats and the lizards
Oh yeah.
out there, because they're just vying for just spread out dominance.
And then isn't there also a cooperative
There's a cooperative way, which actually you go against the mechanized
cat?
marquees, and there's also a solo mode. So yeah, like the fact that they have that much variety with those, and I think there's talk about more expansions.
That's awesome.
For Vast had quite a few with the game, so I mean I would welcome just more factions
Most
to this
definitely.
game. I can't really think of a whole lot else to talk about.
Yeah, I think that.
Cat won,
Hello.
so we're over. Uh,
That was the one stipulation. I win a game and I'm out.
yep. No, it's awesome because this is gonna sound super bad and very condescending, but like, it's not always fun to always win because it feels like you guys get burned out. It's like, wow, you won again.
I
It's
would
like
agree with that.
it's
yeah.
like-
it's not condescending. It's just awareness. Like you
it's
can't.
like I
help-
want to win every time,
Right.
but it's like I like when other people win
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, it can dote on when we're on like our 5th game of like the week, and it's like, oh yay!
Wow, Seth won again. Woo! It's like I'm sorry. Don't hate
I'm
me.
sorry, I was having fun playing the game. Like.
And you had that sneaky win too, because whenever you skipped your freaking bird song, I was like, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing.
That made some.
Is she
people
handing me
nervous.
the? And then this is like, oh, I'll just move over there. I mean, you did it incorrectly.
I had to go
but
back,
You still
yeah.
could have done it a different way. But it's just like, I'm just gonna move over there. Oh, and then I'll just remove that and place a sympathy. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, that just to remove someone to places. I don't know if that's them like killing themselves or.
you organize. It says organize, so it seems. Yeah, I don't know. Remove warrior, place sympathy there.
Maybe they've done their job and they're sympathetic as
Yep,
fuck.
that's the way
They
the
just
Bible.
commit suicide in like the town square.
And everybody's like, we love it.
It could be something like you like frame other factions to get more people in your thing. Yeah, that's the way to bypass that 3-4 multiple card limit,
Yeah.
and that's disgusting. So okay, scale of 1 to 10.
I think we all agree.
Yeah. Shoot. I don't know if I have any flaws.
It's obviously it's a 4. So.
Yeah, it's average.
I didn't like
It's
it.
a 5.
I don't know. Really enjoy it. Yeah,
You're gonna pick it up, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Which if Devin's buying it, that means he really likes it.
Yeah.
I like how fucked up your cat is that it's willing to stand in a river.
I'll do. I'm like, I don't. 10 seems strange, but
A 10, because I mean I'm trying to think of how this would work with less players.
yeah.
Like a 2-player game.
Wouldn't be feasible unless
Well,
you were
it-
two
it-
certain factions.
No, you don't. Yeah, there are a limit to which factions you can play with less
I'll do 9.
players. A
I'll
9.
do it with a 9. Yeah.
You.
Obviously, a 1 is fucking awful.
I fucking
No,
hated it.
It's totally a 9. Like a flawless game would clearly be a 10. It has like a few.
Well, see, like even if a game like the way I rate 10s is obviously no game is perfect, but with flaws, it's like can you overlook them? Where it's like I said, okay, well that's kind of luck driven. So if that's a big problem for you, then you can't overlook it, so
Yeah.
it lowers. But
well, then if we want to go by that, it's definitely a 10. So
Yeah, I'll give it a 9.5. Because again, like everybody knows me, I have to be in the mood for these kinds of games.
yeah, so that's actually a good point.
So you're welcome.
This game is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
So you will not win if you are,
nice.
well, rather says, a
Yeah.
Care Bear player.
Yeah,
It's like,
it
"Nah,
was
I don't really want to hurt
It
them."
was
It's like,
stressing
you
me
fucking
out.
have to
because I had
kill them.
I had all these voices being like attack him, and then Seth would be like no attack, and I'm like ah.
Which is like the politics of any real war game,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, I know I have the most points, but they will continue to get points.
Yeah.
I have to work for my shit. He just gets them, and we can't do shit to him.
Hello.
And fuck your sympathy. So
I think I do like the Woodland Alliance because I am very sympathetic.
well, see, that's what's funny is I thought they were gonna be perfect for you, which they ended up being perfect for you. But I was like, oh yeah, you don't have to be cutthroat. No, you have to be mean.
Yeah.
With them, it's like, what's that? Oh, you have
Yeah.
you have 7 people or 6 people there. No, they're all dead now.
Workers revolt.
I was about to say they're like a workers union.
Yeah. yeah, that's a
And it's
And they
like,
kill them to a man.
yeah, it's like, oh, and then you just place more
Yeah.
people there in a base,
yeah.
which you can stall
So
out
probably
because
the least
Yeah.
violent is probably the vagrant,
the
the
vagabond.
vagabond.
Yeah.
The Vagrant.
The Vagrant.
Even then, the Vagabond, is not as aggressive, but they're conniving.
Right, they have to, they have
It's
to
like-
play everybody.
Yep. You're like, hey guys, I'm everyone's friend. Okay, so you're winning, so fuck you immediately. And you could have done it to all of us. You could have attacked all of us and then just start
Just to start fighting.
killing,
Yeah.
running, sneaking through because we can't.
Did I mention I have 3 swords?
Yeah, you start cutting us down, getting points for them, and then also destroying freaking tokens, getting more points for that.
What would you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Yeah.
It's not a 10 for me because I don't think the replayability is quite there. Well, yes, like I can be like, oh, I want to play them, and you can change that up, and that's fine. But if I want to play I'll play the cats pretty much the exact same way.
Yeah.
As you'll play the faction
Yeah.
pretty much the exact same way, even though how you do it might be different because of
The cards.
the cards and which factions are in play. It doesn't really make it any less fun.
But it will get old really quickly if you don't switch
If you
it up.
play this game a lot, this is out of 2 plays. Who knows? We're gonna play it 5 times. I can be like, never mind.
Yeah.
I played the cats 5 times, and it's still super fun.
Yeah.
You'll definitely pick a favorite faction. I do obviously want to try every single faction. I want to try it with the lizards. I want to try it with the river folk. And that's a lot of gameplay out of there. Like if I want to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5 different playthroughs that'll change depending on which factions are out. We can try with 2 vagabonds and see if they're vying, and they're just even more annoying because there's 2 of them. And then they're competing with each other.
Yeah, they have to compete for the
I wonder if
items.
the Vagabonds give each other cards to take each other's items.
I don't think so. Now there are rules in here that say we're playing playing with 2 vagabonds and stuff like that. Playing with 2. You add extra items to ruins, so there'd be 2 items underneath the ruins, and the first person to go with the torture gets to pick which one they want. And then you share quests. So I don't think you can trade with each other. Because they're not crafted items. Well, I guess technically they are, but I don't think so. So they're vying for shit while also it's just more double damage because now it's not one person trying to make friends with everyone. It's 2 of them, and if they all hate you, if the vagabond hates you,
Could they possibly coalition with the same person if the same person is in last? Or is that a bridge we want to pass if we ever do that?
So the coalition is you can only ever have 1 dominance, and once you take a dominance, you take your victory point marker off. So they know. Well, they might actually be able to, because as long as you kept your victory point tracker on the board, because then you would have to vie for points.
Yeah.
I guess no, because then if there's both of them, then you can play a dominance, and then they're still there with you. So they could. I think they can. I don't see why not. Probably wouldn't be the smartest move on both their parts. It's like, oh, okay, well if your thing's off, then the lowest point is me, so maybe I'll win. So it's very interesting. But yeah, 9.5 for me. If they keep making expansions and supporting, it'll be a 10 because this game is just so much fun. But that's it, everyone. That's Root. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful every time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.